Kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Terence Crawford smashed everybody that Floyd ever fought. Yep. Manfredi, done. Fried. Crawford would have beat him, dominated him, knocked him the hell out. Crawford hit harder than Floyd. Crawford hits harder than Floyd. You understand that? Killer instinct is on 10. Oh, man, come on, man. Crawford can do everything Floyd can do, and he can do it from both sides.
Tim Bradley was a unified world champion, firmly established at the top of the sport and dominating everyone in his training camp. When his manager flew in an unknown 23-year-old from Nebraska for sparring rounds, Bradley expected nothing more than routine work. That expectation vanished within minutes. The young fighter timed a perfect counter right hook and dropped the champion clean. This wasn't a fluke or a lucky shot. It was the moment Bradley realized he was in the ring with a rare boxing mind. Someone who processed movement, timing, and danger like a supercomputer. The most unsettling part was that at the time, almost no one in the boxing world even knew who this kid was.
Timmy, when you brought Terence to your camp 2 years back, and you told him you're going to be a future champ, you knew it, right?
Yep.
What do you have? What kind of skill did he have?
Everything. Mentally tough, physically strong, boxing ability, high IQ for the sport, student of the game, confident, everything. He's a friend of mine.
To fully understand the significance of that moment, you have to go back to 2011. Tim Bradley was at the absolute height of his career, preparing for a high-stakes showdown with Devin Alexander. His training camps were known for their brutal intensity. Bradley was overwhelming sparring partners to the point that his team was running out of bodies. In desperation, they brought in a last-minute replacement named Terence Crawford. At that stage, Crawford had fewer than a dozen professional fights and had never gone past 6 rounds. In an actual bout, the situation couldn't have been more lopsided. Bradley had an elite coaching team watching every second, breaking down every move. Crawford had no corner instructions, quietly shadowboxing alone, unaware he was about to face a fighter operating at championship level.
I think I was getting ready for Devin Alexander, and then I had him for Pacquiao too. So I had him for 2 camps, but I was getting ready for Devin Alexander, and I was tip-top shape. I was sending everybody home. I was beating up everybody in the gym, sending them home. And I was running out of sparring partners. So I told my manager, Cameron Duncan at the time.
That was 2011?
Like,
that was about 2011,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And then so I called him up and I said, hey, I need a sparring partner, man. Like, I'm sending these guys home. Like, I need somebody that's doable, somebody strong, somebody tough. And he was just like, well, I'll send Crawford. I'll see if he can come out. So got in contact with Crawford, his camp, whatever. He flew out by himself. He came in the gym. I seen him sitting in the gym. He had these little plaits in his head. Very dark skin. Look kind of scrawny. He looked strong. You know what I'm saying? I already know, certain builds. I'm like, yeah, he looks strong. Very linky, quiet, didn't talk much, man. He warmed up, got in the gym, we started working, we started sparring, and I was like, oh my God, he was lighting me up. Every mistake I made, bing, 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 bing.
When sparring began, Bradley admits he started off lightly, trying to feel out what the newcomer had. That decision proved costly. Crawford snapped a sharp jab into his face, followed by a crisp counter that immediately demanded respect. Embarrassed in his own gym, Bradley's competitive instincts took over. He raised the intensity to full world title speed, applying relentless pressure meant to break inexperienced fighters. But Crawford didn't fold. Instead, he stayed composed and fired a precise shot that buckled Bradley's legs. Bradley has since admitted that if it had happened in a real fight, it would have been scored as a knockdown. The gym went silent. The unknown sparring partner had just dropped the champion.
After the sparring session, I'm like, yo, I sat there, I'm like, damn, bust a lip and all. I'm like, man, I was sending everybody home. I'm like, this dude just walked through me like nothing. I looked at him, I said, bruh, you ain't no sparring partner. I said, man, what's your name? And he was like, Terence Crawford. And I'm like, man, where the hell you from? He goes, Omaha, Nebraska. I go, bruh. I'm like, you ain't no sparring partner. You a world champion. And he was like, oh, you really think? I was like, man, you got the goods. Look, listen to me. Every time I would try to step it up, because that's what I would do. I would go half-ass, and then, if they start getting the best of me, then I'll step it up. And if they start getting, and then if they rise their game, then I rise mine. And I just kept rising my game. And I just kept trying to rise my game. Well, he rose his game. And I'm like, God, I was like, dang, this dude is different. Like, most guys would just crumble. Like, oh, you the champ, so I'm just gonna lay down. He didn't lay down at all. He didn't take it easy on me, and I was like, oh my God. So it went from there. So I immediately after training, I took him back to his hotel, and better yet, he had no coach with him. Nobody was. Literally, they was giving him water, and that was it. He didn't have a coach telling him what to do. My coach sure as hell wasn't telling him what to do. And he just
What followed is why Bradley later described Crawford as a master strategist. Young fighters usually panic when a wounded champion responds with aggression. Crawford did the opposite. He began analyzing and adapting on the fly. With no coach guiding him, he made real-time adjustments. Bradley described him as a chameleon. When Bradley pressured forward, Crawford boxed smoothly off the back foot. When Bradley tried to control distance, Crawford switched effortlessly between orthodox and southpaw, disrupting rhythm and timing. Drawing from his wrestling background, Crawford used sharp pivots to escape corners and set traps. Every apparent opening Bradley saw turned out to be bait. After 4 intense rounds, Bradley's own trainer stopped the session, unwilling to let his champion absorb more punishment from an unknown fighter.
I was like, when is this kid fighting? He was just like, what do you mean? I said, dude, what are you doing with him? And he was just like, well, nothing right now. He's kind of benched. He's, issues. He has issues outside of the ring, and so he's kind of benched. I'm like, bruh, I was like, I'll buy him out of his contract right now. I said, how much you want for him? I'll buy him right now. And he was like, wait, hold up. I love Terence. What are you talking about? His tone changed real quick when I was telling him, like, bro, I was like, he dominated me in his sparring session. He goes, what? He goes, really? Oh, yeah. So then, all right.
He didn't know what he had.
He had no clue what he had, right? Yeah. Neither did Top Rank, right? So then I'm finished camp or whatever. I go through Devin Alexander. I beat him, whatever. Then I get a call, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about Crawford and Prescott?" And I was like, Prescott who? The dude that knocked out Khan? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I was like, Crawford. I said, he'll box circles around him. I was like, he'll box circles around him. I said, he probably even stop him. And it was like, he goes, really? And this is Cameron Duncan I'm talking to. He goes, really? You really? He's like, you're sure? I'm like, man, I promise you. Everything. Whatever it is, I promise you. And I was like, man, I was like, yo, you still want to go 50-50 on Crawford? He goes, no.
Biggest takeaway for Bradley went beyond being dropped. After sharing 36 grueling rounds with Manny Pacquiao, Bradley later made a claim that still sparks debate. Skill for skill, he believes Terence Crawford is superior to Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao is the name people are throwing out there, Tim. And you've been in the ring with him 3 times, and you've been in the ring with Terence when you guys sparred. How do you see that matchup? What does Tim Bradley think about that?
I mean, it's a tough match. It's a tough match. But, of course, I'm going to go with my boy. I'm going to go with my boy Terence. I think he, the IQ, man, that movement he showed tonight, that definitely would give Manny problems, with all that movement. But, then again, when you think about it, because I've been in the ring with Manny, this dude, he ain't like Pistol. He ain't going to sit there and, no, he ain't going to sit there and no, Manny's going to be, and we going to be letting them hands fly, and so I think it'll be an interesting matchup. I would favor my boy Terence with his size, his movement. I would favor him in the fight. I would want him to beat him. But it's like I said, man, that's a tough fight. Manny, you can never count that guy out, man. He's a beast.
Does Manny still have a lot left, Tim?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That last time out, I don't know what I said to piss him off, but that last time out, he looked good. He was sensational. He learned a lot from that.
While acknowledging Pacquiao's ferocity, speed, and physical overwhelm, Bradley argues that Crawford defeats opponents mentally. Pacquiao was a storm you tried to survive. Crawford is a calculated assassin who dismantles your game plan before you even realize it's gone. It's the difference between being beaten by raw force and being completely out-hot by a higher boxing intellect.
Floyd at his best. Because I think Floyd at his best was a better defensive fighter than Crawford. Crawford's a better offensive fighter, but in those kind of matchups, I think defense usually beats the offense.
I don't. Because Terence Crawford got more to bring. He got more to bring to the table.
He's a great
Floyd
fighter.
Mayweather got the little shoulder roll, I get it. Controls distance, but Terence Crawford is also a master at distance. Terence Crawford has punching power to hurt Floyd Mayweather. We saw that in the Sam Judah fight now.
Yeah, Shane too. Shane hurt him with the right hand.
Shane hurt him as well.
Yep.
And did he fight Shane? But did Floyd fight Shane in his prime? Do you think he fought him in his prime?
No.
Exactly.
And Zab wasn't quite a Shane level fighter. That's true. Listen, it'd be a great match. It'd be a great matchup, no doubt. What you said about the other fighters who are avoiding him, those fighters are with Heyman in the PBC. But when you listen, and obviously you're not in a rush to throw your guy in with Terence Crawford if you can make money other ways at 147 pounds. But
True.
Sean Porter has mentioned Terence Crawford. He's not running. It has been reported recently that Arum and Heyman were talking about a Crawford-Spence fight. Not this year, but the following year, if they remained undefeated, but then Spence got into the car accident. And we see now that with the Fury-Wilder fight happening, maybe there's a thawing and more of a willingness to do business, if it makes sense, between the promoters. And Heyman's technically an advisor, but he's a power broker. I would love to see if Spence gets back to being the same guy he is and isn't facing legal repercussions for the car accident. I would love to see Spence and Crawford. I think that's the best fight in boxing.